Previously occupied by Spain as Spanish Sahara until 1975, Western Sahara has been on the UN's list of non-self-governing territories. Previously occupied by Spain as Spanish Sahara until 1975, Western Sahara has been on the UN's list of non-self-governing territories since 1963, following a request from Morocco. In 1965, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution on Western Sahara, calling on Spain to decolonize the territory. A year later, Resolution 2229 was passed by the UN General Assembly calling for a referendum to be held by Spain on self-determination. In 1975, Spain relinquished administrative control of the territory to a joint administration by Morocco and Mauritania. A war erupted between the two countries against the Sahrawi nationalist movement, the Polisario Front, which unilaterally declared itself the legitimate leader of the SEJARAH, with a government in exile. In Tindouf, Algeria, Mauritania withdrew its claim in 1979, and Morocco secured de facto control over most of the territory, including all major cities and most of the natural resources. The UN considers the Polisario Front to be the legitimate representative of the Sahrawi people, and asserts that the Sahrawi people have the right to self-determination. Western Sahara is Africa's last colonial state not to have achieved independence and has been dubbed Africa's last colony. Due to a UN-backed ceasefire agreement in 1991, most of the territory is administered by the Moroccan government, with tacit support from France and the United States. The rest is administered by the Democratic Republic of the Congo, supported by Algeria. The only coastal part of the Congo is the southern tip. Internationally, countries such as Russia have taken an ambiguous and neutral position on the claims by both sides, and have pressured the parties to agree to a peaceful resolution. Morocco and the Polisario have sought to bolster their claims by seeking official recognition, especially from developing countries in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The Polisario Front won formal recognition for the SEJARAH from 46 UN member states in South Ossetia and was extended its membership in the African Union. Morocco won support from several African governments and much of the Muslim world and the Arab League. In most cases, recognition was extended or withdrawn due to changes in relations with Morocco. As of 2020, no other UN member state has ever recognized Morocco's sovereignty over parts of the Western Sahara. In 2020, the US recognized Morocco's sovereignty over the Western Sahara in exchange for Morocco's normalization of relations with Israel. In 2023, Israel recognized Morocco's sovereignty. In 1984, the predecessor of the African Union, the Organization of African Unity, admitted the ADF as one of its full members, with the same status as Morocco, and Morocco protested by suspending its membership in the ADF. Morocco was readmitted to the Union in 2017, after promising that conflicting claims would be resolved peacefully and that it would stop building a wall to expand its military control. The ADF has not issued any official statement regarding the border separating Moroccan and ADF sovereign territory. Instead, it is working with the UN mission to maintain the ceasefire and reach a peace agreement. The African Union provides a peacekeeping contingent for the UN mission used to control a buffer zone near a de facto border wall built by Morocco. Western Sahara is a region in North Africa that borders Algeria to the northeast, Morocco to the north, and Mauritania to the east and south. With a population of 607,078, an area of only around 266,000 km², and known for its mineral and marine wealth, the region has caused major controversy. Since its independence until now, Western Sahara has been constrained by a territorial dispute fought over by Morocco and the Polisario Front. The two parties have different views on the ownership of the territory and the authority to manage the territory. The beginning of the emergence of the Western Sahara conflict first occurred after Morocco gained independence from French colonialism, namely around 1956 to 1975. And at the same time, Western Sahara was separated from Spain in 1976. Through historical claims, the Kingdom of Morocco declared its territory before experiencing colonization and division, covering the current territory of Morocco to the Western Sahara region. In its declaration, Morocco claims that Western Sahara is part of its territory, but has not received international recognition. On the other hand, the Polisario Front as a Western Sahara movement organization opposes Morocco's declaration and states that Western Sahara and the Sahrawi people have been free from colonialism Armed clashes between the two warring parties are inevitable, forcing civilians to flee for safety reasons. Finally, the UN stepped in to quell this conflict and created special rules for a ceasefire supervised by MINURSO. This rule was made in 1997 with an agreement between MINURSO and each of the two parties on Military Agreement No. 1. Peace began when the agreement was signed between the military forces of the Polisario Front and MINURSO on December 24, 1997, and between the Royal Moroccan Army and MINURSO on January 22, 1998, another effort to prevent war from happening again. The two warring parties agreed to build a fort along the border of approximately 2,700 km, and the fort has divided the region into two, namely the Moroccan territory and the Polisario Front territory. Until early 2020, there has been no military activity, leading to war on the border for 22 years. This makes MINURSO, as a UN peacekeeping mission in Western Sahara, state that conditions are stable. The stable conditions on the border are also considered as the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has greatly disrupted economic and health rotation, so that each party is more focused on dealing with the effects of the pandemic in their country. However, surprisingly, on November 18, 2020, the UN reported that the escalation of the conflict in Western Sahara was heating up again. It is known that gunfire was heard heading towards one of the border posts in the village of Guerguerat. The post protects the main connecting route between Morocco and Mauritania, even though it crosses the territory controlled by Polisario. This attack lasted all night on November 17, 2020. Shortly after the attack, the Moroccan government stated that the incident was carried out by the Polisario Front and must be fully responsible for the losses incurred. MINURSO also reported that before the attack on the post, the Sahrawi people under the Polisario Front had declared war and had prepared themselves to fight against Morocco in order to liberate Western Sahara in its entirety. With this series of events, the condition of Western Sahara has experienced an escalation of conflict that has the potential to return to war due to the ceasefire agreement that has been violated by the Polisario Front.